Hello everyone, and now welcome to a game, ReaVeR and d4rK going up against RazerMoon and Jens. It is going to be a human night elf versus human night elf mirror match. ReaVeR spawning as the orange human here, meanwhile d4rK spawning as the orange night elf, going up against RazerMoon, who is spawning as the blue night elf, and finally Jens spawning as the blue human. Alright, should be an interesting match, all of this getting underway now. Always difficult to cast a 2v2 as there's just so much action and so many things to keep track of. I thought Crota is casting ASL. Nope, I like making sure my microphone is working properly. Yep, everything is fine. I think I've done an ASL cast before. I don't know, do you guys like those particular casts? Leave the comments below for me if you like my soft, soothing jazz cast. I think that's what I first said it was. It's like, well, I don't know. Welcome to KJZZ, where we'll be with you all evening. Snuggle up to someone you care about and tell them how much you love them. Anyways, let's go ahead and break things down here. It is going to be an Archmage and a Demon Hunter going up against, well, a Tavern Hero from RazerMoon, and finally another Archmage. So Tavern Hero allows for this Ancient of War to start churning out those archers slightly faster. You can, well, there should be an archer already out here on the battlefield. Not quite sure what's going on. There's a wisp there. Perhaps the Ancient of War was started early, but it looks as though there's that 19 over 20, 16 over 20. All right, 19 over 20, 16 over 20. Yeah, that archer did get trained up a little bit earlier. We are factoring in that Demon Hunter here. So 20 over 20 compared to 22 over 22, as we should be getting up this Tavern Hero in just a moment. All right, Wisp trying to retreat away. Demon Hunter now making its way over. You can see that d4rK is actually trying to clear out a Rock Golem creep camp with only one Wisp, one Archer, and an Ancient of War. This may actually be a bit difficult, as we are now looking at a Panda as the first hero from RazerMoon. Back off to the north side here, those Rock Golems are going to be retreating. There are two Archers here ready to go, and now the Panda may try and engage here in just a moment, perhaps get some Breath of Fires off, get some little bit of damage going, as that Rock Golem is absorbing a little bit of damage here. All right, there's the engagement. Ancient of War now absorbing all of this damage. Meanwhile, back on this side, d4rK getting a healing ward. And with that healing ward, the Demon Hunter can, in fact, tank a lot of this damage. It is a percentage-based heal, and with decent amount of hit points early on, and that additional armor of that Demon Hunter, able to absorb that damage nicely. All right, that Archer down to 10 hit points has to back away anytime the poison, dissipates from the Archer. The Assassin retargets that Archer here until the Demon Hunter loses that bit of poison. Demon Hunter now seeing that level 2. Panda already seeing that level 2. He's picked up healing wards as well, as this game is, well, going strong. Rock Golem going to get taken down. Ankh of Reincarnation. Scroll of Town Portal was sold by Jens, and everyone on King and Country here, version 1.3. I don't know if I mentioned that earlier. Well, spending time in their own neck of the woods, clearing out their own creep camp. Panda gonna get to about 2.5. Archmage is already a little bit closer to level 3 as well. Could try and establish up a gold mine here. Gonna drop a water elemental. Militia now being called over. Perhaps build an arcane vault as well for Scroll of Regeneration, and a little bit of an outpost here, as the Kobold, well, tries to dive on in, ends up getting cleaned up. Water Elemental absorbing far too much damage, well, and now out of the picture, unable to attack back. Meanwhile, back down to the south side here, Archmage is looking to clear out, just scouting out, and ReaVeR quickly realizes that his opponent is not there, and instead I'm going to try and back up here. Kobold Taskmaster down to 143 hit points. He will get taken down, getting in a couple of bashes. Crystal Ball, as we now look down to the south side here. ReaVeR is sitting at level 2. Will get to level 3. All right, Peasants purposely taking out a Footman to try and deny experience, but the Archmage gets to level 3 anyway. Level 3 Archmage. Level 2 Water Elemental. Down goes the Scout Tower, upgrading to Arcane, as Jens' base is under a bit of duress. All right, Army now coming in back from the north side here. Jens now pushing in in with his own level 3 Archmage. Does have an Ankh of Reincarnation. A lot of low hit point footmen are going to try and back away. Footmen are getting killed on both sides, and ReaVeR may have gotten his hand stuck in the cookie jar, so to speak, as he is now, well, losing a number of footmen as well. These footmen are trying to retreat back. Water Elemental is getting cleaned up. There goes another peasant again. Gens completely out of gold at this point and stage in the game as more and more peasants are retreating. There goes another one once more as the footmen are going to try and, well, protect the lower hit point peasants, but the peasants are all still getting cleaned up. ReaVeR has taken down a large number of peasants here, 23 over 36 supply, as the Archmage able to retreat all the way back. A couple of low hit point footmen retreating back home as well. All right, we are getting up an assassin pulled from the mercenary camp, I believe. Meanwhile, Panda sitting at level 3 here now, wandering out across, perhaps going to try and stop this expo that has already established by ReaVeR and the tech to tier 2 underway. ReaVeR and Dark having a great advantage already up on 2 bases, but more importantly didn't lose a lot of peasants early on. You can see the aftermath of the battle here. Coming back across though, ReaVeR now needs to retreat back. Both sides have level 3. As we look at the battle off to the north, we're looking at, well, archers and Panda trying to clear things up here. Not enough mana for a Breath of Fire, but we can see dual assassins here. So those dual assassins, was that a Crystal Ball teammate Crystal Ball? I could have, no, well, was there a teammate Crystal Ball? I thought there was a Crystal Ball there. No, perhaps just sold as the Brewmaster now making its way back down. Perhaps the Laboratory, yeah, Goblin Laboratory used there in order to, well, gain sight. Demon Hunter now making its way straight after those assassins. Those assassins with that poison are a very, very big deal. And now the Demon Hunter trying to do a little bit of catch up again. The assassins do have Shadow Meld, however, so they are able to hide here as the Sea Witch is now down to 35 hit points. One more shot should be enough to take down that Naga Sea Witch at level 1. The Raccoon doesn't get in the way. Back across here, Naga Sea Witch falls at level 1. One assassin trying to hide in the middle as the battle is raging on in multiple spots. ReaVeR able to protect this 9 o'clock expansion. Archmage, Scroll of Regeneration, and Clarity Potion, well, causing a bit of disruption here, trying to get enough mana down, but the footmen do have Defend. They will be able to reflect back some of that damage from that Water Elemental. All right, this 2v2 matchup has a lot of fights going across both sides. Mana Burn followed by a Breath of Fire followed by a Mana Burn. One Archer not getting so lucky as the Archers, Archmage and Footmen, AM still trying to push back the other way. All right, Footman looking to retreat here. Archmage still lobbing in a couple of attacks. Arcane Tower protecting that Archmage as Gens wants to disrupt the healing but hasn't been able to do exactly that yet. Meanwhile, Footmen are getting cleaned up as well. The Footmen of Gens do not have Defend as they're able to run away at full speed. Demon Hunter off over here running at extra fast speed as it does have boots of speed as we're looking at trying to clear out one of these front line red creep camps. Demon Hunter trying to back away again. Naga Sea Witch is already back out onto the battlefield. Lower hit point archers need to back away here as the Demon Hunter is getting affected by that poison over time. Sasquatch still joining in on the battle. Mana Burn coming back across here as RazerMoon accidentally aggroes another set of creep camps as the Tree of Life now quickly roots itself to try and, well, hold off the attack. Meanwhile, back on the south side, this is like casting 2 games at once as the Footman tries to retreat back here. It is south side versus north side, human versus human, night elf versus night elf more than anything else at this point and stage in the game. Healing Ward quickly placed down though. Panda still has another Healing Ward if necessary, going to try and continue this engagement. A little bit of slow poison damage as the Naga Sea Witch taking slow poison plus the poison damage from that assassin. Is that poison and slow poison? I can't quite tell as we can see more slow, more poison being placed down. All right, there's a Healing Ward placed down there. Is it going to be able to survive? There's a Mana Burn, Scroll of Town Portal. Are we going to get the last shots? Wow, Naga Sea Witch escapes away at 1 hit point. And now, well, slithers back. All right, was down to 1 hit point there. Meanwhile, back on the south side, Gens trying to hold off this onslaught from ReaVeR, as ReaVeR now gets up to level 4 on the Archmage. Dual level 4 Archmage, Footman, one Goblin Shredder even joining in on the fight here. 34 to 61 supply. Jens does have reinforcements of Riflemen, but with ReaVeR's defend on all of those Footmen, they may not be the proper unit choice. Alright, gonna go ahead and pick up, drop off. Perhaps the Zeppelin can drop back down and get a little bit of repair going to start that fight back once more. Water Elementals are still in position here. Are we gonna see a drop down as the Demon Hunter falls at level 3, and Dark also loses the Naga Sea Witch off at the north as well. Both sides having multiple attacks, and this is where you just got to trust your partner, wondering, are you winning or losing your fight? That is the question. Mountain King now out here onto the battlefield as well. Siphon mana away from the Archmage. Archmage now completely out of mana as the Blood Mage is currently upside down. Going to go ahead and get elevated inside the base and perhaps funnel mana back into that Archmage again. Down goes a Water Elemental, and the Mountain King will be forced to try and retreat as there is no other supporting units. Demon Hunter was resurrected at the tavern, still healing up nicely from the help of that healing ward here. Tree of Life wants to eat some more trees and then start entangling this center gold mine, but it is going to be very, very close as well. Off to the north side here, this Goblin Sapper, perhaps suspecting that there was a base here, instead beautifully hides using line of sight on this little entanglement here, as we're looking at Dryads now just getting poked apart. There's a Breath of Fire blowing through, but only hitting the Demon Hunter and that Druid of the Claw, as units are falling on both sides. Again, Naga Sea Witch trying to get away, but archers may be able to cause a little bit of problems, a little bit of pathing issues for that Naga Sea Witch. Naga Sea Witch finally says, you know what, you're low on hit points, let me shoot you. But Naga Sea Witch falls for the third time in about 3 minutes. Back down to the south, Scroll of Town Portal to quickly retreat back out. It looks as though Paladin now trained up by ReaVeR off on the bottom left. Alright, feel like a road runner here, just trying to cast everything. Mana burn onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster now trying to finish off some of these Dryads. Mass Dryads making it difficult for that Breath of Fire to be effective, as we're looking at more units just constantly falling here. Alright, Assassin gonna go ahead and Shadow Meld, perhaps gonna get Staff of Preservation back home. Meanwhile, more low hit point units continue to fall. Demon Hunter gets up to level 4 as the Naga Sea Witch once again makes herself known. Panda, however, still racking up quite a bit of damage. No Staff of Preservation there. Dryad about to get taken down. Holy Light by the Paladin. Finally, a 2v1 fight happening at the same time. The armies, after all this time, now working together. Blood Mage down to the south picks up a Pendant of Energy. Archmage is now full on mana as this Rifleman army 1-0 and a tech to tier 3 underway. Alright, we're looking at 4 bases for blue, 3 bases for orange. Panda, well, 3 bases with a 4th one on the way, I should say, as the Tree of Life has not yet entangled this gold mine. As Dark comes across to try and take down RazerMoon's base before it gets up and operational. We're looking at the Blood Mage looking to try and get to level 3. Has dual Scrolls of Healing and also a Wand of Mana Stealing. That Wand of Mana Stealing actually incredibly helpful. As oftentimes when the Blood Mage is giving mana to his partner, he'll often deplete all of his mana completely. That one Wand of Mana Stealing can steal enough mana to begin the cycle all over again, pulling mana back away from enemy heroes. And there are a lot of enemy heroes to pull from. Demon Hunter probably going to be the priority target as you want to shut down that mana burn. Alright, down to the south side here. A Knight going up against a Goblin Shredder. Goblin Shredder gets taken down. Knight still using those Sundering Blades will be able to take down multiple peasants. Meanwhile, a little bit of a fight inside here as the Panda tries to engage Stormbolt onto the Brewmaster. Brewmaster going to be in a lot of trouble. Mana burn as well. Brewmaster trying to retreat back out. Does have a Goblin Zeppelin overhead if needed, as we see a Scroll of Town Portal. Alright, Brewmaster up to level 6 Earth Storm and Fire, but used it prematurely as the Scroll of Town Portal was already used in order to, well, escape Earth, Storm, and Fire quickly used here. We can see the Pandarin of Storm perhaps going to try and get a Cyclone off on that Naga Sea Witch. There is slightly faster movement speed, or fast movement speed here. Is it going to be able to catch up to that Naga Sea Witch? Naga Sea Witch, well, that ends up getting denied. Are we going to see a Cyclone? We need to see a Cyclone. Don't see it just quite yet, as the Naga Sea Witch finally picked up here, and here's that engagement. Dryads are all in position. Panda of Storm actually does a piercing damage that is quite powerful. But remember, when Earth, Storm, and Fire ends, you start, the Panda comes back where Earth is, all the way back here. Now, both sides trying to engage. There's Blizzard raining down Flame Strike, but a bunch of Spellbreakers and Dryads are pretty much magic immune and not taking any damage here, but the building's not going to be so lucky. More Breath of Fire being blown over, but it looks like all of the cast, or all of the spell immune units are going to be able to dodge much of that damage. More Holy Light pressing through. Blood Mage now trying to retreat back out, and massive battles coming across now as the two armies are fighting together. Demon Hunter gets a mana burn off and finishes the Blood Mage. Meanwhile, Archmage has no easy escape, and Jens is going to be in trouble. Are we going to see perhaps a quick death here? Some slow poison, cold arrows, fork lightning, and one more shot in the back takes him down. Naga Sea Witch of Dark gets up to level 3. Archmage falls at level 5, Blood Mage falls at level 3, and a big victory for Dark and ReaVeR. Jens needs to resurrect those units quickly. Archmage resurrected. Paladin back out on the battlefield here as well. Gold mines, 10 minutes of mining left, 5 minutes left in the main bases pretty much, as this center gold mine could be established soon. Meanwhile, back off to the north, Panda looking to try and perhaps get a little bit of a fight going. Could theoretically Staff of Preservation the Goblin Zeppelin out to get all of his units back home safely, but we'll see what comes of that. All right, where are these units perhaps trying to go next? That is the question. Archmage running off bottom left-hand side here. Peasants once more, dual barracks, but I don't think Jens is going to be able to do much there. Maybe with Blizzard, if, well, ReaVeR is not careful, could lose some peasants, and it looks as though all of those peasants will end up surviving. Archmage is going to try to push on through these peasants, or these units actually blocking the way in, as a couple more peasants could easily get taken down. There goes another one right there, and now all of these workers here are going to get cleaned up. There goes one, there goes two. Well, 3 are now taken down. More of those units are going to get taken out. Archmage does have a Scroll of Town Portal to head back out, and, well, is going to be forced to try and retreat. 73 supply over 84, no longer mining off of the main base. This base here, well, still operational, and could rotate some peasants down if necessary. 41 supply over 66 compared to ReaVeR 73 over 84. Night Elf side 42 going up against 48. So Orange definitely has the supply lead now, and with mortar teams in the back, the question is going to be how well protected these mortar teams can be. AoE Blizzard, AoE Breath of Fire can blow over this back line extremely quickly, but with the Spellbreakers and the Dryads that we see from Dark and ReaVeR, the Archmage and the Panda may not even be able to get into the proper position. All right, Goblin Zeppelin going to go ahead and make its way over now. Drop inside this base here again, and it is drop tactics galore as the Tree of Eternity taken down in a split instant by all of these Druids of the Claw. Earth, Storm, and Fire coming back across here, as Storm could have easily finished off some of these Dryads again. Are we going to see another Cyclone? No, we are not. Storm quickly out of mana. Naga Sea Witch down to 26 hit points, and it looks like it will end up getting taken out here. Are we perhaps going to see some taunts? Meanwhile, it is going to turn into a base race scenario as the mortar teams finish off this castle here in the base of Jens. Meanwhile, in the base of ReaVeR is no longer able to do any mining, as all 3 heroes are nearby, ready once more. All of these buildings are slowly going to get cleaned up. Archmage going to try and Scroll of Town Portal back once more. Are we going to see enough damage to finish this? And it does not appear so. Stormbolt onto the Paladin. Paladin, however, going to get a Scroll of Town Portal out in time. All right, some crazy battles going back and forth. ReaVeR still having two main halls, can mine a little bit longer. Meanwhile, RazerMoon still on RazerMoon and Gens on two main halls as well, as some of those were lost earlier. All right, d4rK looking to take a center gold mine here, upgrade to 3 operational bases. Army sizes are 77 and 24, going up against 60 and 50. All right, so blue actually has a slight supply advantage, but with the number of magic immune units out here on the battlefield, with those spellbreakers and these dryads, I am quite surprised that we are now going into chimeras by the Night Elf RazerMoon. Yes, those chimeras are going to be useful against the mortar teams, but that's pretty much it at this point and stage in the game. All right. Brewmaster here, ready once more. Armies are going to be pushing off again. 24 over 80 supply. This gold mine going to start mining soon enough. Trying to re-establish this base by Gens, but it's going to quickly get canceled as the Spellbreakers cleaning up the remnants of this base here. All right, d4rK looking to get, d4rK looking to get a full base going here, but it's not going to be able to get there. Too many knights already in position. Paladin also joining in on the fight here with Claws of Attack plus 12. Now up to plus 24 damage between the Roar as well. That is some very big damage indeed, and this Tree of Life will end up getting taken out. Meanwhile, mortar teams here with Inner Fire really blasting their way, finishing off all of these buildings fairly consistently, or fairly easily, as we are now down to, well, one mining base here, no mining base here, and only one mining base at the 3 o'clock spot. So both sides currently running up on one base only. Panda could try and get into position, perhaps get a breath of fire onto those arcane towers, and then allow the blizzard to finish everything else. If you can line up against those, against those arcane towers, this base is going to get destroyed in a matter of seconds. And there it goes, Blood Mage now sitting at level 4. No mining bases versus no mining bases on both sides, as this turns into a base race run. All right. This base building's just standing here a minute ago, now completely destroyed. And, well, same can be said for its, well, mirror image brother here at the 9 o'clock spot. All right. Flares, Tree of Eternity on the move, Chimeras running away slowly. Are we going to get Corrosive Breath? Yes, we are. That is for trying to win the base race, as d4rK's new Tree of Life here quickly gets taken down. Squirrel Town Portal trying to teleport back to this Tree of Eternity, and this Chimeras, well, Chimera Roost is actually getting targeted pretty heavily now, and it will get taken down before before the research is done. Here we are, here we go. There's a quick Roar. Chimeras now making their move. Are they going to be able to finish off those mortar teams in the back? Chimeras, suffering quite a bit of damage, have to be very careful. They take a lot of bonus damage from those Dryads here, as Earth, Storm, and Fire try to reach into the back here and take down some of those mortar teams. A couple of them were in fact taken out. 62 supply and 47 going up against 64 supply and 16. All right. I believe blue once again has the supply advantage. That is one of the key parts of the game, that supply advantage, and a wide array of units. Chimeras, however, moving a little bit slowly in the back here. Are we going to get the Corrosive Breath? No, we are not. New base trying to be built off over here, and, well, this is signs that perhaps the economy can in fact keep going. Breath of Fire going to blow over, but not enough to finish off the building just quite yet. There's a Roar. There's a Stormbolt. Flying Machine's going to try and engage, as the Town Hall going to get taken down here. Blizzard now raining down. Flame Strike coming across here, and now everyone is just taking so much AoE damage. Fork Lightning coming through from the Naga Sea Witch, as well as the Chimeras are trying to push through. 4 Chimeras in the air. Flying Machines well, not enough of them to really challenge and threaten the Chimeras just quite yet, as more damage is still racking up. More Blizzard raining down. Goblin Shredder gonna get, nope, doesn't get taken down to 2 hit points, somehow still alive. Brewmaster down to 147 hit points, currently okay. Paladin trying to keep things alive here, as the Paladin is gonna go ahead and give a Holy Light back to these units again. All right, Panda, are they going to try and fight back their way through? There's a Breath of Fire, almost blowing over another Flying Machine. Again, more Siphon mana. Needs to give more mana back to the Paladin, as we see a Stormbolt and a Staff of Preservation for the save. Both sides coming back across here. There's another mana burn. Again, there's another Breath of Fire, but a lot of those units are magic immune, but the Sundering Blades on those Knights are now giving chase. All right, Sundering Blades on Knights, taking down some of those units. Again, more Blood Mage, Siphon Mana, and RazerMoon and Jen's doing a great job continuing with this strong push. Staff of Sanctuary actually bringing the Spellbreaker into harm's way now. Blood Mage going to end up finishing it off, as the Mortar teams of Jen now going to finish off this castle off over here. Meanwhile, Staff of Preservation, low hit point, Paladin able to get away. Archmage gets another Holy Light here as the units are trying to retreat back, and now Jens comes in with his army as well. All right, couple of Holy Lights, and now these bears are looking at a newfound life here, perhaps going to be able to get off some more Holy Lights to save some of these low hit point units. Paladin gonna go a Holy Light there. There's a Staff of Sanctuary on the Paladin, I believe, as now the Archmage could be in trouble. Gonna go ahead and mass teleport, is gonna be able to survive down to 17 hit points. It gets taken down, getting level 5 now to the Naga Sea Witch. Level 6 Archmage taken out, and with that, a major setback. Paladin teleported all the way back home, and he's out of commission for a while. Earth, Storm, and Fire running out across the map. There's a Staff of Preservation on to onto the Archmage. Mountain King may not be able to get out of this tough spot, as the Paladin, well, is still nearby. Are we going to see another Cyclone pick up this unit here? Perhaps the Druid of the Claw also needs a little bit of mana. Does have Inner Fire, as RazerMoon's Druids of the Claw need to get some rejuvenations going for themselves as well. Paladin of ReaVeR gonna get taken down. There's a rejuvenation on that Druid of the Claw again, as we're looking at ReaVeR setting up a base down to the south side here. All right, that Staff of Sanctuary is taking the Archmage out of the equation. Death of the Archmage taking him out of the equation. Paladin now back out on the battlefield. Needs to get a little bit more mana. Perhaps try and heal up again. Heal up all of these friendly units again. All right, how many bases are left? Tree of Eternity is mining here in the center portion of the map, and it looks like blue still has enough to finish off orange after all this time. Couple of peasants going to get finished off here. Slippers of Agility being left behind, but nothing, no real big deal. 32 supply and 29 going up against 10 and 19. That is pretty much going to be all she wrote. These priests with Inner Fire, plenty of mana. No resurrection at the altar because, well, doesn't even have enough supply here. Going to take down a couple of priests. Was that purposely taking down some priests? Yeah, purposely taking down priests to perhaps open up enough supply to train up the Archmage. But the RazerMoon needs to transfer some gold first for that to really happen. Meanwhile, Demon Hunter getting at level 5 could get to level 6, and this could change everything dramatically, as the Panda is now out here on the battlefield. There's a Breath of Fire. There's a Mana Burn. Brewmaster could be in a lot of trouble trying to get away. Paladin and Blood Mage now here to support. There's some Siphon Mana, and ReaVeR has now left the game. It was up to Dark and ReaVeR to try and take down RazerMoon's Brewmaster when it was by itself. But once the supporting cast of Jen's heroes, the Blood Mage and that Paladin showed up, well, ReaVeR and Dark knew that the game was over. A beautiful 2v2 matchup going back and forth over and over. Let me know what you guys thought about this game in the comments below. Final scores here: Jens and RazerMoon first and third, ReaVeR and Dark taking second and fourth. Dark just lower overall score, but much of that in the resource score not being able to translate into having a large enough army.